me and said that's always on pay-per-views, but I've never seen that commercial.
It's usually on Raw. It's something that's been done maybe almost 2 months now, actually, that they produced that and then started airing it. Yeah, about 2 months ago. I think it was tied in with Gillette. I believe they sponsored either pay-per-view or one of the Raws or something like that, but it was kind of cross-promotion between both companies.
Hey, you know that KFC sponsored last week's Raw, right? Not last night, but last week.
They dropped some heavy cash for the whole entire 2 hours, but it was all taken care of with USA Network.
You know that KFC has grilled chicken now, right?
Grilled, yeah. It's about time because the chicken is too greasy.
It's horrible. I can't stand KFC. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't. Are we getting promoted or something like that? Are we getting some?
No, we're not getting. I'm getting thoughts of that. I'm getting thoughts of that big bucket of chicken that they had on Raw last week that we saw minute after minute. It seemed like after every match, that bucket of chicken was right in our face. You know what I mean?
I actually was expecting like maybe a goobly gooker coming down and dressed in a KFC outfit, or maybe Colonel. Maybe the old Colonel.
Or the Red Rooster.
Special guest GM, yeah, or Red Rooster. Terry Taylor. I'm sure that's a gimmick he doesn't want to even hear about ever again.
Yeah, we're not even getting plugged for this. You know what I mean? KFC is not even paying us to put them over here. Not put them over. We're actually trashing the product. Screw KFC. I hate it.
I'm more of a Boston Market fan. It's more healthier, and the mashed potatoes are banging.
We don't have any of that. See, the KFC mashed potatoes, my man. You can't shit all over them, man. There's
now you're getting me hungry.
As far as the chicken, see, we don't have any. Yeah, what's the other one? Popeyes or?
We don't have one around here. Pudgy's was another one. I like Pudgy's a lot better, but they're more fried.
Shaman of Sexy in the chat room says it's all about McDonald's. I don't know about that, brother. That 99-cent double cheeseburger over at Wendy's isn't too bad. You should give it a try sometime. You too, Jose. Go over to Wendy's. Get one of them 99-cent double cheeseburgers. Or they got the chicken sandwiches as well.
The chicken sandwich is actually my choice of sandwich when I go to Wendy's, by the way. Cheese, some fries.
Yeah, see, I don't know. They may charge you extra for the cheese because it's 99
It's all good. It's all good. It's extremely worth it.
Why does Wendy's, it seems like Wendy's or McDonald's, it seems like they always come up, you know what I mean, live on WZR Radio. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why, but Wendy's always pops up. Whatever, dude.
We got a food thing going on, but it's all good, though.
It's all good. Hey, back to the Bash pay-per-view. We had the Great Khali versus Dolph Ziggler, who I'm a big fan of as of late. I would like to see this guy get a push. We'll see what they do at the SmackDown tapings tonight. But the basic gist of this match was for the Kane run-in, where he came down and just basically killed Khali with a chair. So it looks like at the SmackDown tapings tonight, maybe they'll do, set up something along the lines of Khali versus Kane, whether they do it tonight or save it. Well, I mean, that's two big guys, two huge guys, so I think they'd save that for the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Well, yeah, Night of Champions, because not every match is going to be a title match, is it? Is that how they do that? I don't remember last year's Night of Champions pay-per-view. It's every single match.
Every single match. Yep. Every single match. Well, Night of Champions. I don't recall one match not being a...
Yeah. You're right. So they wouldn't be able to do that because neither of those guys are champions. They would have to probably... Yeah,
I don't see that. I think that's probably more written for TV. It's the same thing like Dolph. Like you said, to me, Dolph reminds me of a young Mr. Perfect. Aggressive, has the attitude. You can just see it. When he was first brought in, he was liked by many, and then unfortunately he got suspended, and then it just kind of went downhill. So maybe creative have change of heart and said, you know what, let's push this guy because he does have talent, and if he's pushed correctly, and if he's put together with a CM Punk or someone in that level, Chris Jericho. I mean, it all depends, I guess, which direction they want to end up going to. Dolph is either heel or face. It looks like heel might be the more obvious choice, but you put him with Rey Mysterio, one of the younger guys. As long as they continue that level, obviously putting in the Great Ali, and he wins by disqualification. So I'm hoping that it gets better.
Here's the thing. They started this push with MVP. Remember, probably about a month and a half ago, or maybe even longer than that, MVP came out on Raw, and I really thought they were going to push this guy, you know what I mean? And then it was derailed. And then you had The Miz, where they did this thing with The Miz, and you built it up big, and you knew what was going to happen, right? You knew that they were going to go to the pay-per-view, and they were going to bury The Miz, right? And if that wasn't bad enough, they did it again last night on Raw. So it's like, all right, if you want to build new stars, okay, sure, Miz got the rub from Cena. He worked with the guy for a few weeks, kept calling him out. So you got a little bit of rub there. But in the end, you have to put The Miz over. You have to make him look.
You gotta understand. Let me cut you off, but they didn't. I disagree with the term that they jobbed him, because the reality is, you can see that John Cena was kind of carrying him, but there was maybe a good 5 or 6 or 7 minutes that the match lasted. So it wasn't kind of typical squash match. Someone talks crap. They fought, and I think what that does is it built a little bit more respect. It built a little bit more for The Miz. So this way, now that his program, at least I'm hoping, has moved on, we're good. Now, here's the situation with MVP. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the last 3 weeks, every time his name is announced, he doesn't get a pop. The pop is just flat. And I think what happened is the audience didn't embrace it the way that McMahon wanted us to embrace him. And because of that, we're kind of like yawning now. And I think, not saying that he's going to start jobbing or going back.
We're going to yawn even more after next week. I mean, did you see the feud that they're putting him in?
It's what I've heard. What I've heard, and it doesn't surprise me that's going to go down. But you have a young talent coming in from ECW, and then you have, and again, I don't want to spoil it because obviously, I don't know if these guys, anyone listens.
No, I mean, just if you don't want to hear a spoiler, turn down the speakers for just 1 second. We'll only talk about it here for a second, and then we'll jump back into the bash. Turn down the speakers real quick. Well, kind of stall, you know what I mean? Kind of stall, but it's gonna be Jack Swagger, you know what I mean? And MVP versus Jack Swagger. I mean, do you see money out of that feud?
It's not about money, but I think they're putting someone experienced with a younger guy. I mean, Jack Swagger has potential. He almost kind of reminds me, not comparing him to Kurt Angle, because I think Kurt Angle was a lot better than Swagger, especially on the mic. I think the kid has a lot of potential, and I'm just hoping MVP doesn't become the teacher that kind of just loses it, because then if he does, and he doesn't kind of get over on Jack Swagger, then his push is going to be, it's going to be killed. He'll get drafted to ECW or to SmackDown again.
Now you say that you see potential in Swagger, which I completely agree with. The guy's got the look, the big look. You know what I mean? Needs to work on the mic skills a little bit. But who do you put over? If you want to push, we're saying that we want both of these guys pushed, right? Swagger and MVP. But they're going to do this feud where they've got to fight each other or they've got to wrestle each other. Who do you put over?
Honestly, I would put Swagger over MVP. Witnessing what the audience has responded in the last 3 weeks, that's one thing that I try to listen to is how much pop these guys get. And the last 3 weeks, if you guys have TiVo or listen to it next week, he's not getting that pop that I would say, yes, he is main event status.
You know what I say? I say you put MVP over. And then they tease something with Swagger, and I know he's not second or third generation or anything like that, but they tease something with Swagger and the legacy. And we're going to have Ted DiBiase Jr., who's going to be leaving here in a few months to film a movie. So I think you put MVP over because it doesn't hurt Swagger if you're going to have Swagger be a part of the legacy. And I think they kind of set that up last night, you know what I mean? And I don't think if Swagger were to go and be a part of the legacy, I don't think that would hurt him by putting MVP over.
And you're absolutely right, and that can happen. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here, and it's for me personally, Bourne going into Raw, but of course then you have Swagger going into Raw. I kind of hesitated at first, but it's a good idea, and it's a good idea to put him against MVP because, again, I feel, and again, this has not been reported or I talked to someone within the WWE, me personally feel that I don't think McMahon has that confidence to push MVP to that main event status. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I think as far as mic work and in-ring work, at this point, I think MVP over Swagger. Just because of the mic work. I'm not saying anything.
Especially mic work.
Yeah, especially the mic work. Especially because there's nothing wrong with Swagger's in-ring work. Still a little bit green, but he's got potential. You know what I mean? He's a young kid. He's got all the potential in the world.